Definitely gonna. Oh, word.
You're leaving all this in, right? One of the biggest problems, which is also what you alluded to, is that it's the overwhelm, the time consuming, and there's so many social media platforms and everything works slightly differently on each one, and where's your audience, and it can really quickly become way too much to think about and result in you actually taking no action whatsoever. And that's the worst thing that can happen. You know, it is very difficult, but I think a lot of that is because people aren't really clear on what they want to put out, where their audience is, what their message is. I always say it's a bit like standing in Wembley Stadium when a football match is going on and you're trying to talk to somebody about how beautiful shoes are. They ain't your audience, they're not listening, and it's the wrong platform and you've got the wrong content. You need to really have a strategy for that.
So give me an analogy that's the right thing. Using the Wembley Stadium thing, so because I think that would really help me and it really helps people. So because I really got that when you said, I can imagine that I'm there with the guy with the shoes. So what's the right thing?
So you're in a stadium with a whole lot of people on your side already. They're your audience. They want that team to win. When you're on the terraces and you're singing the same song as everyone else about how your team is gonna do it, you've got the content right, you've got the messaging right, you've got your audience right there. Now just tweak that song to be a little bit about what you actually bring to the table, and suddenly everyone's listening. You're talking their language, you all have the same end goal, which in business might be to solve a pain point for your customer, to make more money, depending who you're working with. And you're in an environment where they are. It's no good putting your content on Instagram if none of your customers are there. They're all on LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
They're never going to see you. You're wasting your time.
So you
But
see the same kind of issues between larger businesses and smaller businesses? Do they have the exact same?
I think so. The only benefit, the benefit with larger businesses, they've got more money to throw at it. So if they get it wrong,
So they just
it's not as impactful because the stuff they're getting right is overwhelming it and bringing enough business in. But small businesses don't have as much wiggle room to get it wrong. And the impact is greater on a small business when they get it wrong.
They don't eat that well.
Yeah, exactly. The margins are smaller. The resources you have are finite, especially if you're a one-man band. You're doing it yourself a lot of the time. That's time you're not getting paid for. So that's why what Bookable do with the strategy is so important. You have to know where you're headed, what you're aiming for, so your content can reflect it. It will be much clearer and easier to get your stuff together. And you might not actually have to put out as much as you think, because it will be messaged correctly and appearing to people who actually want to hear it.
Well, this is why you can stay. Absolutely. I don't know, so we've done how many interviews so far? Four?
5 with you, but four actually on business owners,
I don't know, which one stuck out to you the most, the first 4 interviews?
Well, I think they all stand out for different reasons. It depends.
Oh, it depends.
I was interested in Paul's comment about 42% of new startups fail because there is no market. And what you talked about today was people have a product. So it seems to me that people kind of find it quite easy to go, oh, there's a product that I can sell or market. And I say in the intro that if you have a product, there's more than likely a market for it.
Yes, that's definitely my philosophy, yes.
Yeah, which, you know, we've talked about pitch and can you pitch it regardless of what it is. We've talked about doing some content on that, which I think would be really interesting for people. Maybe we don't do it as a video, maybe we do it as, you know, we've been talking about doing podcasts and things like that.
We were talking about the chocolate teapot thing, the analogy the other day, and it actually got me because they don't really use that saying in the States, as useful as a chocolate teapot. So I was like, who the hell would create a chocolate teapot? I don't know about this. For the first several years I was here, and then one Christmas, I'm going down, I think it was Blue Water or something, and I see this, display of ornaments and stuff like that. There's a chocolate teapot there. And I'm like, But I thought they were useless. Oh, okay, so it's great as an ornament, but it's not great as an actual teapot. So really, that just tells me, depends on the intent of the content, depends on the pitch, depends on the audience, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I have that philosophy.
So assuming that your product works, then you can pitch it to anybody, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of business owners get hung up on, they create this product, and they're like, I have it for an...
Oh, I just had an idea.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
what? No,
yeah.
live fire, go.
So this is Ask Mine, right?
Go ahead.
Okay,
All right.
so
Back to suits and
I
sneakers.
thought we weren't, okay, suits and sneakers, got it.
So I don't know how we do this, whether we do it in the team or what we
Sure.
do, but it's a great way of brainstorming.
Yeah.
And working it. So we think of something, and then you have to pitch it.
And then I have to pitch
So-
it.
I
No!
love
I've got.
Sell me this pencil, got it.
It's like that program from the 90s, What's the Next Line? Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay, a wheelbarrow without a wheel.
A wheelbarrow without a wheel. Well, that's, okay, I'm gonna be cheeky and go with garden ornament, okay. Because you see a lot of broken down jank-ass tractors that are garden ornaments now.
Yeah. So you just put it in the garden, put plants in it.
Yeah.
Like some people do with boats, for instance.
Yeah. A lot of people who currently own boats have one.
I think that would be quite interesting because there's quite a bold
I don't know,
statement.
would you watch that, folks?
It's a bold statement, isn't it? You can pitch anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know
No,
that you
not me personally, I can pitch a lot of stuff, but
no, but I know that you believe that.
yeah, I think generally there's an audience. The thing that most people don't realize is we are all freaks now. You hear all this stuff about like long tail keywords and stuff like that. It's what that's really talking about is niche stuff, getting down to people who like really, really specific things. And trust me, you can find anything now. You know, so we were talking about one of the many things, I don't know, people who sit there and do gaming for hours on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's some freaks that'll sit there and pay to watch that stuff.
Or normal people.
Or normal people, Anyway.
Normal people like to watch people, apparently.
Yes.
Let's not go to my help.
But the thing is niche is in. And that's what it's really all about is, I joke that we're all freaks now, but really we're not, because people have been doing all this stuff forever. It's
Do you
just
watch
the other
people
day.
coding?
No. Ooh, there's a good one. Does that exist yet? I don't know. It does now.
Probably. But I think that's the beauty of the internet. That's what you can use it to your advantage. You can find your audience.
Yeah.
You can find out what they're interested in, who they're talking to, how they talk. You can find out what platforms they're on, and you can mirror that in your content. So that when they find it, they go, that person gets me.
And
They understand where I'm
that's
coming
what
from.
I was gonna. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say before. I think that's where a lot of business owners get hung up. Is they're like, oh, I've created this product and I want it for this thing,
Yeah. No.
and then they go into business and the audience tells them something different, like, oh, I don't like it and I'm not using it. Well, if they don't like it, they're not using it. You could just be pitching it the wrong way. Your audience will always tell you what your product is for. So maybe you might make wheelbarrows without wheels. They'll tell you it's for a garden ornament. Don't get pissed off at them because they want to buy it as a garden ornament and not as a wheelbarrow. Money's money.
You've got to pitch the why, not the how.
You gotta pitch the why. You gotta imagine sitting in your garden and looking at this. Let's see, I'm pitching it right now.
It's selling the benefits, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to.
Selling the emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion.
What you're going to feel when you
Yes.
experience that product or service. That's what connects with people rather than just listing its features.
Not the feature, no featured presentations, no.
No, when you've got the belief and the values of your audience, that's when you've got your audience. It's like the people in the stadium who are all shouting and waving flags and things for you is because you've got the same belief system, the same values.
Yeah.
So your audience is your brand.
Yeah.
And your audience tells you what your brand is. We don't tell the audience what it is.